S is Sight for Night.
Hey everybody, Doug here, back with another episode of your Pennsylvania Dutch Minute. There are multiple videos here on the YouTube channel that deal with or highlight famous people who are Pennsylvania Dutch. I have a video on Milton S. Hershey, for example, and all of the famous presidents that have been of Pennsylvania Dutch descent. And as the internet keeps doing its thing, we find more and more people that have Pennsylvania Dutch heritage. And I've been compiling a list of people that I wanted to highlight, and I've been putting this off because I've been busy, but I sat down tonight and I was like, let's pump a video out and highlight at least 3 people in this short video who are famous and also Pennsylvania Dutch. And since us Pennsylvania Dutch have been intermarrying for 300 years here in America, there's a chance you might be distantly related to one of these 3 people, which is kind of cool to think about. So without further ado, let's take a look at 3 famous people who just happen to be Pennsylvania Dutch. The first one in our series today is George Lucas, the famous filmmaker, born the 14th of May, 1944 in Modesto, California. Of course, famous for creating Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and he's had his hands in so many other things when it comes to movie making. I mean, one of the greats and the giants, and most people probably don't realize it. George Lucas is actually Pennsylvania Dutch, and he is Pennsylvania Dutch through his mother's side of the family. They were Bombergers, spelled Bomberger. But if you take his family tree back far enough and you go through that line, through his mom's maiden name, through her line, you get to his 3rd great grandfather, who was Jacob Bomberger, which was the original spelling, born in 1806 in Berks County, Pennsylvania. I couldn't find anything beyond him, but most likely if he was born in Berks County in 1806, of course, his parents would have been living there too. That's a Pennsylvania Dutch name. We're in Pennsylvania Dutch country. I mean, it's 2 and 2 together. We get 4. George Lucas is Pennsylvania Dutch. And this, for years, I've been joking in my live stage performances that we do that George Lucas has to be Pennsylvania Dutch because Yoda, the most famous character, or one of the most famous characters from the Star Wars franchise, talks backwards just like a Pennsylvania Dutchman does when they speak English. I made that joke for years, and son of a gun, it's true. I never would have guessed it, but yes, George Lucas is Pennsylvania Dutch. Famous person number 2. A controversial figure, I know. However, we're not going to talk about the controversies or what he does. Let's just talk about his Pennsylvania Dutch connection. Elon Musk. This is probably one that most of you are raising your eyebrows over. Really? Elon Musk? Born the 28th of June, 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. Of course, he famously is the owner of Tesla and the social media company X and SpaceX. But just like George Lucas, he has his Pennsylvania Dutch roots through his mother's side of the family, and they were Haldemans, a good old Pennsylvania Dutch name. I did a little bit of research. There's been a lot documented about this because he is so famous. But his family, this Haldeman family, traces its roots back to Bartholomeus Haldeman in 1544 in Switzerland. And according to a Swiss website, Swiss genealogical website, his family, the Haldeman family, eventually immigrated to Pennsylvania in 1719, where they were for a while, and there are still Haldemans in Berks County where I grew up for sure. They eventually spread out. His mom's family, some Haldemans along the line would eventually move west because his mom was actually born in Saskatchewan in Canada before marrying Elon Musk's father and ending up in South Africa. But if you take her family line back far enough, we are talking Pennsylvania Dutch, early 1700s here in Pennsylvania, and taking it back to Switzerland, where many of us Pennsylvania Dutch can trace our roots to, me included. I don't have any Haldemans in my family tree, so I don't think I'm related to Elon Musk. But heck, you never know. And our last famous person that we're going to take a quick look at who has Pennsylvania Dutch roots is the actress Gwyneth Paltrow. Another one you're like, really? Gwyneth Paltrow? Yes. Born the 27th of September in 1972 in Los Angeles, California. Academy Award winning actress for her performance in Shakespeare in Love, one of my favorite movies. And just like the other 2 famous people, she also claims Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry through her mother. Maybe you didn't know this, but Gwyneth Paltrow's mom is the famous actress Blythe Danner, a famous person in her own right. Blythe Danner, born in Pennsylvania, she descends and has her family tree is full of Pennsylvania Dutch last names. The Danner family themselves traces their roots back to 1670 Mannheim, which is a city in modern-day Germany. Ulrich Donner was that family as far back as I could find there in Mannheim. The Donners would eventually make their way to Pennsylvania. And in her family tree, as they settled there in the early 1700s in Pennsylvania, of course, you had all these other Pennsylvania Dutch family names that show up in her mom's family tree, names like Bollingers, Stouts, and Schaefers. Now, I have Schaefers in my family tree. I also have Bollingers. So I'm going to have to do a little digging, but heck, I might be a distant cousin of Gwyneth Paltrow, which is crazy to think about. The internet is providing us with all these crazy new opportunities to learn about genealogy and find out all these famous people's, how they tie. And I think a lot of people are often surprised when we say something like, oh, do you know George Lucas is Pennsylvania Dutch? Or, oh, did you know Elon Musk is Pennsylvania Dutch? Now, we know that they don't. I highly doubt that George Lucas grew up eating Pennsylvania Dutch food, or Elon Musk for sure not, because his family's, moved all over the place, and none of them probably grew up hearing Pennsylvania Dutch. Gwyneth Paltrow, I don't know, with her mom growing up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, maybe there's a chance that Gwyneth, had a little bit more exposure to our culture, to Pennsylvania Dutch culture. But who knows? But regardless, they have that shared ethnicity, that shared genealogy that many of us have that make us, quote unquote, Pennsylvania Dutch. So I just wanted to share those three people as I keep doing my digging and research. Or if you're watching this and you know another famous person that absolutely has Pennsylvania Dutch heritage, shoot me an email, let me know, and I'll do a little digging and we can highlight them in another upcoming video in the series here on your Pennsylvania Dutch Minute. Just to bring you back a couple things, don't forget, you can get your own PA Dutch themed merch on our shop, PA Dutch 101, at our Zazzle site, zazzle.com/PA Dutch 101. The site is filled with great PA Dutch themed merch, t-shirts, magnets, stickers, cards. We're constantly adding new stuff. So please check back and get yourself something nice. Order something for a friend for a gift. Also, if you like to support what we do here on the channel financially, you have two opportunities. You could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Doug Mainford, or you can become a monthly patron for as little as $1 a month on our Patreon account. Just go to Patreon.com/PA Dutch 101. And for all of you out there on the social medias, of course, you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on X. Just look for @PA Dutch 101 and check out our website if you've never been there, PADutch101.com. It is a pleasure to come to you guys every once in a while, bringing you new videos of Pennsylvania Dutch themed content. I'm going to keep those videos coming. I hope that you keep coming back. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, hit that subscribe button, click the like button. That helps other people find our videos. Till next time, dear friends, keep practicing Pennsylvania Dutch. Tell all your friends about these facts that I fed you with. Hey, George Lucas is Pennsylvania Dutch. Hey, Gwyneth Paltrow is Pennsylvania Dutch. And keep practicing Pennsylvania Dutch and Mock Scoot.
Mock Scoot, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And schlock that notification bell.